Did you know that over 80% of the global population lives in countries where religious freedom is restricted, limited, or under serious threat? Yet, in other parts of the world, faith is experiencing a quiet but undeniable boom, growing in ways we've never seen before. Today, we're diving into one of the most crucial and often overlooked human rights issues: religious freedom. Where is it improving, and where is it rapidly deteriorating? The answer is often surprising. So whether you're someone of faith, no faith, or just curious about global human rights, stick around. We're counting down the top 10 countries where religious freedom is either getting better or getting worse. Let's get into it. 1. India, getting worse. India is a land of astonishing religious diversity. Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, Buddhists, Jains all live in this vibrant nation. But in recent years, the rise of Hindu nationalism has put this delicate balance in jeopardy. One of the most alarming developments is the spread of anti-conversion laws across various states. These laws essentially ban religious conversions unless they are approved by the government, often targeting Muslims and Christians, particularly those working with tribal and marginalized communities. Critics argue that these laws are designed to marginalize religious minorities, making it harder for them to practice their faith freely. A Christian pastor from Uttar Pradesh recently shared, "I pray every Sunday not just for my congregation's faith, but for their safety. In a climate of rising violence, mob attacks, and growing hostility towards minorities, faith has become a matter of survival as much as belief." 2. Saudi Arabia, slowly getting better, but still far behind. Saudi Arabia is often seen as one of the most religiously restrictive nations in the world. Islam's two holiest sites are here, and the nation has long enforced a strict interpretation of Wahhabism, an ultra-conservative strain of Sunni Islam that outlaws most religious expressions outside its own framework. Public worship for non-Muslims is still prohibited, and Muslims who deviate from Wahhabi doctrine are persecuted. But under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, there have been small but significant changes. Christian expats now meet for secret services in private homes, and interfaith dialogues have quietly begun. One expatriate in Riyadh explained, "In Saudi Arabia, public worship is banned, but behind closed doors, churches whisper their prayers in secret. It's a fragile, slow transformation, but it's progress nonetheless. Full religious freedom? It's still a long road ahead." 3. Nigeria, getting worse. In Nigeria, religion is deeply embedded in both culture and daily life. However, it's also a source of fierce conflict, particularly between the Muslim majority north and the Christian majority south. And it's getting worse. In the northern regions, Christians live under the threat of extremist violence from groups like Boko Haram. In the south, Muslims have also been targeted by militants. Religion, in this context, isn't just about practice, it's about survival. One teacher in Borno shared a haunting sentiment. "Every day I open the school gates, I wonder if we'll make it home by sunset." The Nigerian government's response has been weak, leaving many citizens caught in the crossfire of religious conflict. Religious freedom isn't just under threat, it's a matter of life and death for many. 4. Uzbekistan, getting better. This one may surprise you. Uzbekistan was once known for its harsh restrictions on religious freedom, especially towards Islam. In the past, citizens risked imprisonment simply for owning a Quran or attending an unregistered prayer meeting. But the story in Uzbekistan today is one of unexpected progress. Over the past few years, the government has taken real steps to relax religious restrictions. Thousands of people who were previously on government blacklists have been removed. Churches and mosques are being legally registered, and citizens are now allowed to worship more openly. It's far from perfect, but it's a remarkable turnaround from the draconian past. In fact, Uzbekistan stands out as one of the most improved countries when it comes to religious freedom. 5. China, getting worse. China's approach to religion is perhaps one of the most authoritarian in the world. The Chinese Communist Party, CCP, sees religion not as a right, but as a threat to its control. The government's crackdown on religious freedom affects many groups, but it's particularly harsh on Christians, Tibetan Buddhists, and the Uyghur Muslim minority. Churches are being shut down, religious books are burned, and digital surveillance is used to track believers. Uyghur Muslims face forced detentions in re-education camps where they are subjected to forced labor, torture, and indoctrination. One Uyghur woman tearfully said, "I'm teaching my children the prayers of our ancestors in secret because they would be taken away if the government found out." The Chinese government has ramped up its control, pushing religion further underground, and for millions, faith is being extinguished in silence. 6. Egypt, mixed progress. Egypt has long been home to one of the world's oldest Christian communities, the Coptic Orthodox Church, yet religious freedom remains a challenging issue. While President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has publicly supported Christian rights more than previous leaders, significant challenges remain. Church-building laws have been relaxed, but local officials often delay the necessary permits indefinitely. Coptic Christians still face discrimination and violence from extremist groups, and sectarian tensions run deep. One Coptic Christian in Cairo shared, "We finally got the permits to build a church after years of waiting, but it was a battle that shouldn't have had to be fought." While Egypt has made modest strides, religious minorities still face systemic hurdles and violence. 7. United States, getting mixed. The United States has long prided itself on being a champion of religious freedom. The First Amendment protects this right, and the U.S. has a diverse landscape of faiths. However, in recent years, religious freedom has become a battleground. Hate crimes, particularly against synagogues, mosques, and churches, have reached alarming levels. Islamophobia, rising antisemitism, and political polarization are testing the boundaries of what religious freedom truly means in America. Despite strong legal protections, a recent report found that hate crimes targeting synagogues and mosques hit record highs last year, raising concerns about how tolerant society is becoming. While the law may protect religious expression, the societal tension is undeniably growing. 8. Iran, getting worse. Iran is a theocracy where religious freedom is practically non-existent. The government imposes strict rules on religious expression, targeting minority faiths like Christians and Jews. Dissent within Islam, especially among Sunni Muslims, is also brutally suppressed. One young Baha'i woman in Tehran described the constant fear. "I risked imprisonment to teach my children about our faith. Every day, I wonder if today will be the day we're caught." Despite the growing desire for religious freedom among many Iranians, the regime is doubling down on control. The future for religious minorities here is bleak, and freedom remains a distant dream. 9. Colombia, getting better. Here's a shining example of improvement. Colombia, often overshadowed by its neighbors, has made significant strides in religious freedom. The country has passed laws protecting religious minorities and has promoted interfaith cooperation, particularly in the post-conflict regions. Churches are actively involved in peacebuilding efforts, helping to heal a country torn apart by violence. Religious groups, despite the country's struggles, have shown an ability to bring people together, regardless of their faith. One church leader in Bogota proudly declared, "We are no longer seen as outsiders, we're partners in building peace." 10. Russia, getting worse. Finally, we turn to Russia, a country where the government has tightened its grip on religious expression. Since the invasion of Ukraine, Russia's religious landscape has become even more authoritarian. The Russian Orthodox Church has closely aligned itself with the state, and other religious groups, especially Protestants, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Muslims, are increasingly under suspicion. One Protestant pastor in Moscow was fined for holding Bible study in his own living room. He said, "I thought my home was safe, but now even our faith is a crime." The Russian government is cracking down on any form of religious dissent, and the future of religious freedom in Russia looks increasingly uncertain. So what does all this mean? Religious freedom isn't just a spiritual matter, it's a human rights issue that impacts everything from politics to personal identity. The balance of religious freedom is fragile. It can shift in an instant, for better or for worse. As we see in places like India, Nigeria, and Russia, freedom is far from guaranteed. And in countries like Uzbekistan and Colombia, we're witnessing hope that religion can thrive despite the odds. But here's the question. If religious freedom continues to erode in key nations, will future generations look back at this era as a turning point for better or worse? When I started researching this topic, I was struck by just how fragile freedom truly is. It made me realize how much courage it takes to fight for the right to believe, especially in hostile environments. And that's something we often take for granted. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Were you surprised by any of these countries? Do you think religious freedom is advancing globally, or are we sliding backward? If you found this video thought-provoking, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into global issues. Thanks for watching.